Hi, boys and girls. Miss San Luis here again, and we are ready to start Unit 1, Lesson 3, and it's all about climate and weather in New Jersey. So, first thing we do is we take a look at the practice, the vocabulary. That's going to be in Lesson 3. So again, in the box, we have the vocabulary words that we're going to go over. We'll do a little bit of practice, and then I'll read the pages 26 and 27. Those are the first two pages. And then there's an activity for you to do. We have to kind of look at fourth graders should be able to look at a graph and pull some information out and then apply it. So that's what we're going to practice today. Okay, so the first word that we have in Lesson 3 is climate. And that's the kind of weather a place has over a long period of time. Precipitation, which means water, such as it could be rain, sleet, hail, or snow that falls to the Earth's surface. A nor'easter, we all know what that is, right? A strong storm that can bring high winds, heavy storms, and freezing cold. Natural resource, that's something found in nature that people can use. Renewable, something that can be made again by people or nature. Non-renewable, something that cannot be made again by people or nature. And the last one is manufacturing, the making of goods from natural resources by hand or machinery. And of course, it tells you the pages that you can find these vocabulary words, and more than likely, they'll be bolded in your text, and that tells you that that's a word that you should know, and you should because we just went over them. Okay, so let's look at some word work we have to do. To be good readers, we have to understand words and be able to look at new words and try to be able to figure them out, right? Okay, so climate. We already know what the definition is. So the first one is categorizing vocabulary. So we're trying to figure out which category that climate will belong in. Do you think it'll be under weather, travel, or farming? And whenever you pick the word, all you have to do is underline it. Okay, you guys know how to do that. You pick a word, and then you highlight it, and then you come up here, and then you click underline. Okay? All right. Number 2, precipitation, synonyms. Write a sentence using a synonym for the word precipitation. Now, a synonym, if you don't know, is another word that means the same as the word that you're looking at. Okay, so instead of the word precipitation, you would put in a synonym, and you could underline that. Number 3, nor'easter. Okay, we're going to use context clues. Okay, I found a mistake, so I fix it. Context clues. Use nor'easter in a sentence with context. And remember, we talked about this last lesson, that context clues help us figure out what the word means. So you can't just say there was a nor'easter yesterday, because there are no clues to tell me what nor'easter means. So you want to give me some clues in the sentence that tells me what a nor'easter is. Okay? Natural resource. Again, we're going to use context clues again. Great readers and writers can create sentences using context clues. So you're going to write a sentence using context to help define natural resource. And again, if you don't remember, wait, what is natural resource again? Natural sounds like nature. Okay, so something in nature. Now, a resource, let's see, something found in nature that people can use. Okay, so a resource is something that you can use, right? Okay, so write a sentence using context to help define natural resource. A great one, a great hint is maybe you could name a natural resource and explain what you'd use it for. Okay. Renewable and non-renewable. You have to make a little vocabulary chart. Actually, you just have to fill it in with an example of a resource that's renewable and one that is non-renewable. And again, if you want to wait until you read the pages that's on, okay, then that might help you, right? So if I look up here, renewable, page 28, okay, so if you go to your book and look for page 28, then you might be able to find it. Okay, that might help you with that one. But if you're looking at the definition, renewable is something that can be made, again, by people or nature. And with those definitions, you could probably do it. Non-renewable, something that cannot be made, again, by people or nature. Okay. Manufacturing, the last one. Root words. So which word has the same root as the root word of manufacturing? Is it mankind? Is it fraction? Or is it manufactured? Okay, so again, just highlight it and underline it, and then you can hand this in and submit it. Okay? All right, so we're going to go ahead and start the reading for pages 26 and 27. You can go ahead and take out your book if you want to read along with me, or pull up the page so that you can see where I'm at. Okay, lesson 3, and this is unit 1. Climate and resources. You are there. So imagine this. You wake up on a Saturday morning and you hear the sounds of summer in New Jersey. What do you hear? Trees rustling in the wind, birds singing, tent poles changing. Wait a minute. You think tent poles changing? That's what you hear in New Jersey? Then you remember it's the opening day of the farmer's market in the park across the street. You hurry and you get dressed. You imagine what awaits you: fresh corn, tomatoes, strawberries, and so much more. Miss San Luis always loves a great farmer's market. Why are there so many farmer's markets in New Jersey? Oh, because we're the Garden State. That's our nickname, because we do have a lot of farms. You may not see a lot of farms around East Hanover, but New Jersey, as we talked about with the regions, we have a lot of farmlands in the western part and in the towards the central part of New Jersey. Okay, page 27. Okay, just move this out of the way. Perfect. Okay, New Jersey's climate. Climate is the kind of weather a place has over a long period of time. New Jersey's climate is hot and humid in the summer, and winters are cold and bring precipitation. So that means a climate could change, right, over a long period of time. So certain times of the year, it could be hot and humid, and certain times of the year in New Jersey, it could bring some precipitation and be cold. What is precipitation again? It's water that falls to the Earth's surface as rain, sleet, hail, or snow. In the spring, New Jersey's climate slowly becomes warmer. Snow showers turn into rain, and melting snow and heavy rain can cause flooding at this time of the year. Fall in New Jersey is usually cool and dry, which is Miss San Luis's favorite season in New Jersey because her birthday's in that season. Sometimes New Jersey may have extreme weather. In cold weather months, strong storms called nor'easters can bring high winds, heavy snows, and freezing cold. We've lived through a couple of those, right? Location affects climate. So location affects temperatures in New Jersey. Northwestern New Jersey is the coldest area in the state. The region's higher elevations have cooler summers and colder winters. Summer temperatures average about 75 degrees Fahrenheit. Winters in the mountains of this area stay below 28 degrees Fahrenheit. The climate is milder in the regions near the Atlantic Ocean. The ocean brings cool breezes in the summer and the warm air in the winter. And the southern part of New Jersey is the warmest area of the state. In Cape May, temperatures usually don't fall below 34 degrees Fahrenheit in the winter. So you always have to look at the reading check. Those are the main idea and details. So the question that you should be thinking about now that you should be able to answer in your minds is, what's the climate of New Jersey like? Okay, let's look up at the graph because that graph is what you're going to use to help you with your next activity. So the graph up top here, it says, what is the average temperature in New Jersey in May? Now, this is a certain type of graph. What type of graph do you think that is? I don't think it's a pie graph. I don't see the pie circle shape. I don't see long bars going vertically or horizontally, so it's probably not a bar graph. So what kind of graph do you think that is? Yep, it's a line graph. Okay, on the left-hand side, it says here, average monthly temperatures. And then it says in degrees Fahrenheit. That's the measure that we use to measure our temperature. And on the bottom of this graph, it says month. And it has the months January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, and December. Okay, so if we look at this graph, it starts in winter, right? And then the average temperature throughout the month goes higher and higher and higher. Oh, because that's right in the middle of the summer. And then it goes right back down to winter time, right? The degrees, average monthly temperature goes down. Okay, so thinking about New Jersey and thinking about the next activity that we have to do, I'm going to show it to you. You have to use that graph to help you answer this question, okay? Now it says, look on page 27, and that was the graph. Look at the graph showing the average monthly temperatures in New Jersey. What conclusion can you draw from this graph? That's the first question. And there's the second, which is, what does that mean for businesses in New Jersey? So here's what I want you to think about. You have to draw a conclusion. So what can you say if you look at the months and you look at the graph? What can you say about the climate in New Jersey? Right? So looking at the months and looking at the temperature. Fourth graders should be able to pull some information out of the graph by looking at the average monthly temperature and looking at the months. And what can you tell me about the temperature and the climate, right, of New Jersey, looking at that graph? And then the second one is, what does that mean for businesses in New Jersey? And think about different businesses in New Jersey. Farming. We have I know a lot of you spend time in the summer down the shore. So the businesses at the boardwalk or down the shore, how does the weather and the climate affect those businesses? Farmers. What about farmers markets? People who go to a farmer's market. What about ski resorts? How do the businesses, the climate in New Jersey affect the businesses like a ski resort? We do have a ski resort, if you didn't know, in New Jersey, in Vernon Valley, and that's northwest. So think about the different businesses and how the climate could affect New Jersey. That's the answer that we're looking for, okay? All right, well, good luck. Enjoy learning about New Jersey and have a great day. Bye.